Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is the BGBC, the Backlog Gaming Broadcast Company. I'm your host, Eddie Akiba, and this is the Backlog Blitz. This is the stream I do every Sunday afternoon, where I try to work my way through one of my games in my backlog. And this month I've been playing Esoteric on the channel. I've been absolutely loving this game. I try to play a game, one of my favorite games of all time, each month. I started playing Disco Elysium, and that's why replaying it, and that's why I started playing Esoteric because it's considered to be like a Disco Elysium-like. Called an audible though in the game of the month and switched over to Metroid, just because I don't want to be playing two very narrative-heavy RPGs at the same time. Because I'll never beat both of them in a month. I think I put 67 hours in my first playthrough of Disco Elysium. Plus, Disco Elysium is heavy, and I'm not in that headspace right now, even though it's my favorite game of all time, I think. But so we're going to continue here on Esoteric Ebb. I do silly voices sometimes with my games that I stream, and I've been doing that with this game, so it's going to be cringe. You may laugh. Who cares? I'm bored. I'm so bored. Alright, I do like that they do recap. As you can see there, I'm a level 3 cleric. Those are my stats there. I am at the Drunk Sphinx Tavern, which I just got done speaking to a millennia-old Sphinx cat thingy. So we'll read the catch-up here. Session notes. Arrived in Dolstadt via waking up in a morgue. Alright, so I've already read this part. Yeah, we'll go ahead and continue here. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes to get the je ne sais quoi, get the juices pumping, as they say, to get into character. But, so far, this has been one of my favorite characters in the game, this Sphinx here. I think I already exhausted all my dialogue options with them, but let me check here. Sphinx takes a sip from her barrel of wine. Little one, she says, and looks right through you. Okay, that's right. I'm trying to solve this riddle for her as one of the side quests. Can you tell me the riddle again? She chuckles. As many times as you want, cleric. Down within the arcane flare, twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Burrowed deep within the earth, a primal string to show your worth. Folk and gods in thronging herds, a man divine alone howls his words. Let me see here. Found with an arcane flare, it's like fire. Twin tongues of flame that scorch the air. Burrow deep within the earth. I don't know what that means. A primal string to show your worth. Folk and gods in thronging herds. A man divine alone howls his words. Okay. Up you go, Ned. Hey, eat. Right. Just talk to this dude. Partner. Snell. I like Snell. I like that he seems like he just doesn't really want to be bothered at all with this quest. Let's get on with it. Remind me again what we're doing. Apart from disturbing the peace, he laughs. What do you want to know? Tell me again about the tea shop. Again? You want me to go over the general stuff again? No, I was kidding. Let's see here. What time is it? It's 9:47. Hey there. I think I do have to sleep in this game, that's right. Cool place. You come here often. Sometimes. It's not exactly the best tavern in the city, but it's alright. Oh yeah? Yeah. The title goes to the flip of a shawl. I'm friends with Orbina, the owner, great gal. Let's see here. Sounds interesting. It's right at the intersection of housing and the palace. Half the ceiling is flipped, like gravity flipped, hence the name. It's a cool gimmick on its own, honestly. Anyway, I enjoy the place. When we're done here and you don't piss me off too bad, I'll take you there. Alright, sounds good. Sweet. No drinking, of course, but you'll enjoy the food, I'm sure. Alright. Nice weather we're having. Look around with the bucket on your head. Sure. But how would you know, cleric? I said, how would you know? Since you're wearing that damn thing on your head. Let's see here. I feel like you're bringing some unneeded negativity into this conversation, sir. I'm both shocked and amazed you haven't walked off a ledge yet. But I have to say, it is immeasurably embarrassing to stand next to you and attempt to take anything you say seriously while you're wearing that. Do you realize everyone you meet is simply choosing to ignore you? I will keep wearing this for as long as I want. Yeah. He sighs. You do you. I apologize for the outburst. But it's just my 2 crowns. Alright. So what's your position on all this? Whatever you mean by that, cleric? What's your angle? I'm here on behalf of Lady Sageleap. Her will is for the streets of Tolstad to not suddenly burst into flames in the middle of the day. Her will be done, so to say. What if it bursts into flames in the middle of the night instead? I don't think she'd like that either. Why are you really here? My motives are not of interest, cleric.
He does not want to disclose his inner feelings to you.
Understandable, you are kind of creepy. You got any family? And I already asked him this. Yeah, I already did this text tree. Fuck them kids. No, I'm kidding. Where do I sleep tonight? That's true. Well, I need to go see that guy after midnight, so I'm not going to go sleep. Alright. Alright. So, let's maybe look at my journal and look at the quests I'm doing here. Questing. Alright. You've successfully spread the idea of democracy simply by asking people what they are voting for. Everyone is now better off. Thanks to your extremely helpful behavior. You're a real hero. And that was completed. Okay. Okay. Should go to Water Lane. Alright, let me go back to this tea shop, though. To have his blessing. The owner of the tea shop's unaccounted for. Locate this Birdman and find out what he knows. Left the tea shop, okay. Bragging about secret escape plan, shipping himself in a crate to Reed's. You should check. Alright, so we're gonna go to Waterview Lane. That's what we're gonna do. I think I'm done here. In this, did I look here? I don't think I looked here. An old well. Oh, interesting. You approach the old well. It is dry.
And very, very deep.
I wouldn't jump down there. Look down the well.
You see only darkness.
Is this a wishing well? Surely. I wish I was the greatest knight in all of Ascari. Nothing happens. Won't you look at that? That must mean you're already the greatest knight, right? He's making fun of you. I'm not gonna jump down at the well, I don't think. No, it's gonna, like, kill me. I do have full health, though. I could save, and then if something bad happens, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's just see what happens here. We're gonna live the life on the edge. Jump. Excuse you? You're doing what exactly? I'm jumping down the well. You say that as if somehow it's somehow a good idea. Just jump. Snell grabs you. Go! That's a bad cleric. He wrestles you back away from the deep, deep hole. Snell, I wanted to jump down. Not on my watch. If you want to die from rapid fucking dungeon descension, do it on your own time, asshole. Okay, so we're not going down the well. Fair. Alright, I already talked to her. Is there any new dialogue options with her? I don't think so. Alright. Exhausted dialogue options there. Wait, who's this guy? Wait. No, that was just me clicking on my spell. Yeah, I should probably be able to give this guy some coins. A donation plate, yes. A small plate with a fair bit of crowns scattered about the surface. The goblin glances as you approach the donation bowl. I want to donate crowns here.
You do? How much, though?
Don't go overboard, she's an artist, they're rich. I'm gonna give her 10 crowns. Place a handful of crowns into the bowl. Gain 5 experience.
A good amount. Oh, thanks, cleric.
Alright. Good deed for the day in the game. That guy's an asshole. I already talked to him. Alright. Let's go to water lane. Where is water lane? The drunk Sphinx. Water lane. So that would be down by the docks. Alright, which is up by the temple. Okay. Got it! Got it, Captain! Can I go in there? Shit. Oh wait, no, it's not a... I have to... Oh wait, no. It's through here. I don't think I ever looked at the windmill. Did I? Didn't it light up? Alright, whatever. Okay. Go down the treacherous ladder. I keep seeing that fucking lobster this whole game. You approach the ladder once more. I think I might make this guy Australian. Crikey! A long way to fall!
Thank the gods, you don't have to try so hard this time.
Climb ladder down. Alright, bottom of the ladder. Alright, let me go here. Did I already look at the, in here? I believe so. Can I go in here? Wooden door blocks your path. Oh yeah, look tight. That must lead to the back office. I haven't been in here before, but I think they closed down a while ago. Heard rumours from some goblins that worked here. I think the owner fired them all out of nowhere. They're closed down. Why is the mill spinning? Yeah, that's actually concerning now, when I think about it. I'll ask around later. Nothing to worry about now, though. I could try to get in there. Why not? Try it! That works, right? Alright. Your fingers work the mechanism with precision. Click, click, click. The lock gives way. Door swings open. You see nothing but black beyond. Crikey, complete utter darkness. Can't see a damn thing in here. Cast dancing light. Your light cuts through the gloom.
The storage chamber reveals itself. Broken crates, scattered papers, a mess of abandoned equipment.
Someone left in a hurry. Crikey, that T-shot blast reached even here. That blast has shook everything. Push forward. You wade through to the debris.
This place has been abandoned for some time. Dust covers everything.
Oh, it's a dump. Search for anything useful. You sift through papers and crates. Most of it's worthless. Old receipts, inventory lists. Pick up the document. Lower roller mill. A notice. Official letterhead. Notice of termination. Collective action violation. You scan the text. All workers dismissed. Effective immediately. Brutal.
That explains why this place is empty. The owner shut down rather than deal with organized labor.
The workers to be better. They did. But the world rarely gives people what they deserve. Tale as old as time. Or at least as old as factory work. It's the bourgeoisie bullshit. All the way to the top. Bourgeoisie? He's showing his bleeding hat.
Snow is correct, sadly.
It's awful. He shakes his head. Ignore me. I'm getting tired, yeah? Continue deeper into the chamber. At the back, you find an office. The owner's private space. Check the desk. Push the desk. Old papers, ledgers, more termination notices. And then a drawer. Locked but poorly. Force it open. The drawer slides open with a snap. Inside lies a smooth stone, one with several faces adorned on its side.
It pulses faintly with esoteric energy. A magic item.
Crikey! Esoteric! Examine the stone. Pick it up carefully. Ascending pebble. Oh shit, these are expensive! Pocket the stone. Slip the pebble into your pouch.
Time to leave. This place has given you all it can.
I'm not finding anything else here. Let's go. Alright, exit. Make your way back through the darkness. What a lovely delve. Alright, I'm gonna go water sign. I'm gonna turn my air conditioner off real quick. should be this suspicious shop owner down here. No, that crab. They say that's a crab, but that's 100% a lobster. Fucked me up last time. Alright, go here. Alright, did I talk to... It's cool. Never sleeping docks of water lane, right below here. Oh, should I go down there? Can I go down there? Can't, yet. What's this? Statue of Earth. Who left this here? Engage. You approach the shrine. And yes, this little figurine does still count as a shrine. Trying to move it. It's like in the middle of the road. No. It has chosen its path. What? The figure of Earth. This is a makeshift shrine meant to stand exactly where it is and where it might go. Ready to serve whoever needs him the most. Just like you. Alright, so I need to... Let's go and pray. Standing at the chiseled monument, you focus your mind, you take a deep breath, begin your prayer. You... Tranquility. Alright, I don't need to do that. Contemplate women. It's not an accident, you're not clumsy, but the question is here, not why you fell. The question is, why do you live? Alright, so we're good here. I do need to... I want to prepare my spells. I'm going to do... Probably not going to need to speak with animals, but... Let's do prayer healing. I need charm person. I can do 4. Why don't I try Grease too? Well, maybe Shield of Faith. There. That works. I was down here earlier. The Scotty Reed's Trading Company. That's the Free Strider's place. What we got here? I'm also looking for that lady for that one quest. Ben is making a sound, a strange sound. How strange. Right, Ferris! Whiff! Melting! Whiff!
The voice is from a primal spirit. Open it.
Look to Snell. He gives you a nonchalant half shrug. It's Water Lane, and there's always something going on here. Open the trash can. As you lift it aside, you immediately see something moving in the pile of shredded documents and old scraps of food. A pair of legs. Cymoth. Suddenly jumping out of the pile with a poof of moldy dust is a pine cone. A pine cone with limbs.
Arr, me Harren! One of your little friends.
It hands you some leaves while doing a strange, seemingly improvisational dance upon the trash.
Did he disarm the trash?
Before you're able to do anything about it, the little creature poofs away.
One of nature's essential workers. A blessing to meet in the wild.
Disgusting little creature. As it fades, you see only trash. I've heard enough about those things, never seen them though. What do you know about them? Just what I read in the paper, and what Nessan goes on about. They're called Vitar something. The Lamplighters Guild had a public spat with them a couple of months back. He points to the lamps behind you. Apparently, they messed with the everlasting lights. Not so everlasting, then? Heh, yes, it's a PR name. I get why they were mad, but I think they solved everything once the PCG got involved. Like I'm sure you're aware, they're all over the garden too. Anyhow, they clearly seem to like you. Let's keep it like that. Just walk away. Alright. I think this is that lady that one lady was looking for. Youth Asgold Modissa. Behold! Human reads folk. Girl on a mission. She's out to fight for the green no matter the battle. Okay. Crikey, a dead scene. Oh, a cleric, just in time.
4 young guys looking each a bit nervous, except the angry-looking blonde kid.
We've confiscated the illegal goods, he says and bows his head. For the city. He turns his head towards one of the kids behind him. How's it going, Earthness? I'm trying. Hold on. I don't know who this... Wait, no, this... Oh, is this a person here? I'm trying... No. Trying, hold on. Point at the lanky kid trying to cast a cantrip. Hey, stop it! He freezes and gives the blonde kid a nervous look. Oh, sorry, cleric. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that voice. I'm Rollo, the blonde kid says and takes a bow. Rollo Malak, at your service. Behind me are Earthness, Stendbuskin, and Tole. Excuse me. We're members of the Novikarian Resistance of Movement 2. You're thieves and ignorant book burners. The girl adjusts her spectacles and straightens her back. With all due respect, Mr. Cleric, don't believe a word from these thugs. You notice the 2 other girls behind her, a halfling and a dwarf, both look at each other. Assholes. Careful, it's an actual cleric. Thugs? Come on, Modissa, really? They aren't just a bunch of ruffians. Seen enough, the goblin whispers to you and sighs. Just activists clashing. Hello, everyone. I am the cleric. They've stolen, she hisses, then turns to Rollo to bark out. You stole our entire water lane delivery. Yeah, sure, of an illegal newspaper. Lord Cleric, I assure you we were doing the city a favor here. I take that back. It's just a bunch of lavas. Okay, so I'm sensing a conflict here. You are here to uphold the law, right? So arrest these assholes. Now! The dwarf grabs her hand and holds her back. Modissa, calm down, please. Point at the Asgold girl, explain your side. She scoffs. Okay, fine. Her dwarven friend mutters. Oh wait, she's the dwarf. I thought that was the gothy looking spellcaster. Sorry. Her dwarven friend mutters. Modissa! In a concerned tone. We deliver papers for the Asgarian chant. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a pretty big deal. He chuckles. She draws a sharp breath. We have busy schedule. Right as we started delivering the papers in Waterlane, these pieces of shit started following us. Taking papers we've just delivered right out of people's mailboxes. That's illegal, right? Asked the halfling girl. highly illegal.
Of course it's illegal.
She does not care for your opinion on the legality of mail theft. How rude.
And then they grab one of our paper stacks from Zerba, like straight up assault and theft.
No, sir, it wasn't.
They can't get away with this. Poor girl.
Point at the nationalist boy. Okay, what's going on here? First of all, thank you for listening to reason. I know we look like some dumb kids, but we're not. Something about his expression makes you think the exact opposite.
Banning the written word does nothing to dispel such a notion.
He gestures towards you and then to himself. We're on the same team here. Don't look dumb. He says, looking dumb. Stop staring. Tell me what you're doing here. So, we heard about the Asgard chants being delivered in Tulston. Or did that? Or I did, at the guild. I work at the fishery, and I see every day how Earthfolk get radicalized by dwarven nonsense. So I figured I'd get the boys with me, and well, and we'd, put a stop to it. Through violence and terror. We couldn't figure out where the thing was printed or anything. A lot of copper press scenes don't really have official companies behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially trash like the chants you hear coming from the short kid at the back. Go fuck yourself, Tolly. Hey, relax. I'm telling our story here to the good Lord Cleric. He turns back and to you and coughs once. Of course, it is illegal to distribute unlicensed papers in every official district. So I ask around. Apparently someone saw these girls at the university going around delivering it. It wasn't that difficult to figure out. It was Modissa doing the deliveries. Like fucking Modissa.
Huh?
You're not allowed to do that.
The large kid at the back says with a nod. Right, you guys know each other. There's history here. Yeah. Like, back at school, everybody knew who Modissa was. The Asgallist Annoyance, the blonde kid says with a grin.
Such a terrible nickname! Unimaginative and boring! Also, fuck you!
Anyway, that's how we got here. They're delivering an illegal magazine, and we put a stop to it. He grins wide and proud. I need a drink, Jesus. Does the law say about this conflict? The Asgard Chance, whatever silly name its anonymous publishers gave it, is not licensed for distribution in Tulston.
Requiring licenses for public distribution is a typical method to repress journalistic intent in Norvik.
At the same time, it is also illegal to steal delivered newspapers from mailboxes. Even those papers are delivered illegally. That's a lot of illegality. Both are in the wrong. In different ways, yes. Here you guys voting for the election. Not this time.
The Workers' Party! Duh! Same for me!
The dwarf raises his hand carefully.
Yeah. And these stupid boys are obviously voting for the party of Norvik.
No, we're not. None of us are. If. Like, fuck that.
What?
Yeah, no. The silent kid at the back raises his fist in the air. Like, fuck the establishment, man. Rollo nods to the cleric. There are deeper forces at work here. Divine forces. I see, you're voting Asgallus then, same. What? No! What? You're not voting for anything? Indeed. You're apolitical? No. What? If you don't engage in democracy, the bad guys win. We, the blonde kid says, gesturing to his three friends, we are fighting the evil powers, ready to establish a true resistance to anti-human sentiments. For Earth! The girl with the creased brow sighs loudly. That sounds like a conspiracy! Uh-huh. The blonde kid looks to his left and right. Right on! Could just charm one of them, right? That would be a solution. Tell them you've done here and just cast it on them after that or something. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. Good!
She's hiding a nervous expression.
Right, good.
He's outwardly very nervous.
Fuck these nationalists, man. Oh, hi! He stares at you, trying to retain his composure.
He's terrified.
You're frustrated already. You're likely to take it out on both sides if you fail at getting them to give back the papers. Crikey, beware! Alright, I got this. I can roll a 9. Maybe. Because now I have to get like a 4, so I've got an advantage. I only have to roll a 4. Let's do this. Come on. Yes. Puff out your chest. Take a deep breath. Place a hand on his shoulder. Your gloved hand grabs him firmly, and he gives you a freaked out expression. Give her back the papers. Ugh, he mutters, trying to form an argument. Aye. Hey, stay quiet. He glares at you. Give back the papers. He glances away from you.
You can see his mind working behind those wide eyes.
Then he slowly nods. Rolo snatches up the stack of papers and tosses them over to Modissa. She catches them with an oof, accompanied by a foul expression. Grumbling, the boys then leave Water Lane. Gods be damned! The three girls collect themselves for a second. Shit! Wow, that was scary. Mr. Cleric, thanks! Hey, thanks a lot! Great, no, you fuck off as well. No. Your cause is good. Keep at it. Will do. And if you want to help out, come by Simmy's apartment at the Halls. As long as you're a friend, you'll be welcomed. Within a minute, they are dispersed, leaving Water Lane a bit less rowdy than before. I'd say that was the right choice, even if those girls seemed shady as well. Now let's get out of here. Time to leave. Alright, I need to find Mr. Shady Pants. What we got here? Torna, the first of the River Guilds. Democratic propaganda. Looks like a bar down there. Alright, let's go into this bar. You approach the door. Bookbinder. You've got business here. Of course, I've a deep love for books, Snell. That's fun. Didn't expect that, considering everything. I'm a big reader myself, but I indulge occasionally. He sounds surprised. That's rude. Very rude. You can read? What kind of wizard would dislike books? Be a wizard? He shrugs. I got a class conflict. I mean, shit. I mean, it's a stereotype. You gotta be more original than that. So what? I'm an illiterate ape wizard. These haven't existed since the Fade era. I don't know about that, but I learn something new about you every minute, it seems. Well, maybe we shouldn't just stand here talking in front of a shop. You knocking, or are we leaving? Knock on the door. Within seconds of the knock, the slit on the door slides open. Beyond, you see a pair of large yellow eyes glaring at you. Hell! Crikey! Bed! Is this pest control? The eyes quickly tilt to the left. Tilt! In a sense. The eyes push closer to the slit in the door. As they do, a bush of gray feathers pokes out. A bird folk. Ah, an owl! A cleric? Yeah, duh. Birdman behind the door ruffles his feathers. Chilean is my name. If you're not pest control, I need nothing from you. Please leave. I have a ruined prayer book. Can you fix it? Prayer book? Yes. I've seen quite a few. Drop inside and we'll take a look. Alright. Drop in. Yes, horrible. Salt water. Left swollen. You could have avoided the worst of this if the drying process had been handled better. I will rebind this foul mess for you. Great, thanks! Turn to leave. One more thing before you run off. I will need guidance of the direction of the rebinding. Spells inside are lost. However, the style and formatting can be saved. Using my skills, I can aim at something from the towers, which would be most similar to the original work. I can also focus on rebinding it in the style of a druidic ledger, or perhaps as a grimoire of the dark and forbidden arts. Let's see here. Do wisdom upgrade or charisma upgrade? Maybe I'll do the forbidden match. Forbidden magic? Isn't that illegal? Hence the name. I am a registered spellcaster in your city. He lets out an annoyed bird sound. That gives me the rights to handle any magical components and tools, no matter the outcome, as long as I do not cast it myself. Thus is your laws written. That sounds like if he could be abused. It does it not? You know druidic stuff? I have many customers, including the various druids of the city. They have an aversion to modern practices themselves, hence my services are well appreciated. Have you worked on many clerical tools? Yes. I'm not an official merchant of the towers, but many come to me for better prices and better services. Despite how little most clerics enjoy working with my kin. That's terrible. I'm not like those other clerics, I promise. I do not care. I'm not your friend. Now make a choice. Like class-wise, like I'm doing like a wisdom run. But for dialogue options, I think it'd be kind of funny to have a charisma update grade. So I'll do that. That I will do. Return tomorrow, not while the sun rises. I'm either resting or working intently during those hours. Anything else you want, or will you leave me to work? You want to go drink at the tavern later?
No!
Are you a scholar?
Oh! You're interested in the arts?
It's kind of my job, yeah?
I was trained in the knowledge back in 3 Wings. I know many things. But no time to talk or share. Busy. If you want scholarly teachings, go speak with my upstairs neighbor. That never stops talking.
Who?
Just go upstairs. His door is always open.
Let's see here. Why do you need help from the Pest Control Guild?
Rats!
Oh.
They're awful. Keep spawning out of the sewer pipes.
The BCG really should take care of that.
Yes!
He lets out an angry bird noise.
But the bastard guild leader, Torlim, Slip, keeps telling me they don't have time. No time! They have 12 teams running around the city. No time! I've heard the big problem is that they cannot get anyone to do pest control missions at 1-star levels.
1 star? Yeah, they've got a whole ranking system. The halfways, who haven't relied on the PCG for years, they just don't have time for anything under 2-star danger ranking.
It's very annoying. I've looked into it, and the problem is the pest control teams that join the guild only take on 1-star missions for a couple of weeks. Then they quickly start focusing only on the higher paying tasks, and all the actual normal pests keep on spreading throughout the city. It is a ridiculously idiotic system. So while all the mimics and monsters keep getting slayed, nothing is done about these darn rats.
Actually really inefficient. Entirely due to it being public dying of a course, and it been privatized from the start. The bird takes a few breaths after his rant.
Worst part, my nephew has a team himself. The White Doves, they're called. And I've tried sending him messages to him also, but he just says the same thing. Too busy, too busy.
Let's see here. I could join the Pest Control Guild. The Owlman scoffs.
Sure, and then you'd go and take on all the big and scary monsters that crawl up into the city, ignoring all the actual pests, just to get a payday.
No way! I worked my ass off trudging through the sewers, catching rats, repairing nothing payout, all for the satisfaction of a hard day's work.
Really?
Yes! I'm that good of a guy.
Well, if everyone was like you, this city would be a better place. If you do, I would be very happy. The rats seem to come from the sewers connected to with the city below.
Tell me more about your nephew.
He calls himself Valerian Windrider. That is the Norwegian way of saying his name. He's also active within the Freestrider Party, if you're interested in throwing a vote for one of my fellow owlkin. He works with one of those filthy yobits, which I'm not happy about. Oh, and a halfling, a cleric in fact, of the Lady Fair Church.
Oh, I've heard about church over in the housing, right?
That's the one. I think they're connected with an orphanage.
Well, good with that. Think about it.
Thank you.
Alright. Alright, let's see here. What else we got in here? That goes to the pillar entrance. Just go up here. We got a wishing well, looks like. Do we have anybody I could talk to? Go ahead and save. It may be a bad idea to wake up this griffin, but let's see. Beware, there's fangs, and the rest too. Yeah. Might have to reload. You approach a ball of feathers and wings and really sharp claws.
A magnificent creature.
Magical beasts can sometimes understand basic common. You could try speaking with it. It is a griffin, right? Simply can't speak with animals. That should lessen the pain of negotiation. You see a pool of drool forming underneath the open beak of the beast. Wait, look behind it. Here's an entrance to the warehouse on the other roof. You want to get inside, you're going to have to get past this bad boy. The mythical beast snores gently before you. I don't even want to ask what the plan is here. What a majestic creature, Snow. Don't you want to pet it too? No, no, thank you. Seriously, be careful. I'm not cleaning up your guts if that thing skewers you. Right, cast speak with animals.
Your spell causes you to feel lighter for a moment, as if connected with the soaring dreams of the griffin. Then it fades as a deep growling voice enters your ears.
You foolish biped! The griffin gets up from its slumber with a dark groan. Ugh! How many times must I make it clear? I require rest! Do you wish to taste my steel?
I apologize! Oh, great, Griffin!
He scoffs. You think me weak to flattery? The beast spreads its wings. You may address me as, Gajorio Valzantigo. Master Jigaro Valzantigo.
If Griffins could smack, he would.
Who does this chicken think he is? Bow. Hello, Griffin! Tisk. Your manners are in the gutters, along with your bloodline. Harsh! Even by bad standards. Now I am in a good mood if I'm after my nap. Go ahead. Ask me whatever inane questions you might have. How do you get the name Gregorio? My father was Tislemergy Valzantigo of House Valzantigo. We are bred to be perfect. The griffin growls. His names sound very gnomish. You seem to remember there's some kind of secret connection between them and griffins. Your name sounds kind of gnomish. Why? Of course, the biped is knowledgeable in basic history. The bird lets out a squawk. I originate from Veta de Rey. Vidia is the greatest city on the coast. The gnomes who live there have served my lineage for over a century and a half. Once I finish this obligation in the West, I will return to rule my house once more. Soon enough, soon enough. Why do you call me biped? Why? That's what you are. A two-legged, featherless biped. Do you disagree? I do! Get ready to argue about your identity as a person. Of course. What incorrectness will spew in my direction, then? The cleric! That is what I am. I don't know what that is, and I don't care. Anything else? What do you do around here? I handle scouting for the boat bipeds, so they do not hold any interest for my valuable information. Some of the less rugged ones I even move around from time to time. I traveled with one a few days ago, all the way to this strange cold land. In return, I get fed a glorious amount of sustenance. More than you could ever wish for, biped. Who's your owner? Tisk! I have no owners, you foolish thing. You need to wrap your mind around a superior being, not needing to slave away all day. Learn from me. That would do you good. Who do you fly with here? A biped of your size, approximately. One with a gaudy sense of style. Some type of ground delver of a human, I believe. The type to head deep below and not come back for many, many days. It's sad, really, to be a biped like you. We could find its owner below, then. Got it? What a lovely creature. You're kind of chunky.
Sleep well.
Until you shut up, yes? I had a dream where I kept smacking bipads like you around. It was wonderful. Alright.
Voice disappears from the griffin immediately.
Had a good chat. Didn't sound like you were best friends exactly. What did it sound like to you? You've essentially been squawking for a while now. Would have laughed if the noises coming from that griffin didn't scare the shit out of me. Sounded like you'd be gutted any second. The griffin and I came to an understanding, I think. Sure. Let's go before the bird changes its mind. Alright. What is this? One of many Free Strider compounds in the city. Might as well go in there. Closed, barred shut. Alright, must not be open. Let's go here. Excluding the anti-magic messaging, Free Striderism. Damn it, that went away. Can't read that fast. Dwarf gazes across the dockyard. Cleric, sorry, I'm busy. Okay. Alright. Date grounding the bell of waterline. Alright. What's up here? No one can dismiss the dwarf's architectural genius. Office of Snurre Appleton. Snurre's office. Children's drawing on the wall. Scholarly commendation of the Ford Nip Commonwealth. Collection of books, political mostly. You see a collection of books from the philosophy canon, none of which you are really able to understand. Next to them, a line of famous political books. There's Gallus Theory, Hedonists, The Dark Book of Chateau, Alexandro, many more. No Free Strider work, disappointing. Okay, let's open the folk by Alexandro. Alexandro, this was the first book placed in your hands as an Earth folk recruit. Open it. Look inside. It's an old, worn copy of that same text. Musings about the divine era of great walking gods and their theocratic states. A history lesson morphing into a series of guidelines how modern leaders, as a response to the drawn-out Coast War, should return to the old. The proven, the organized, the divine. Although written from the perspective of not faith nor service to the holy, but rather that of service to the state. A modern theocratic vision, the nation as an entity not bound by the protection and lifetime of its god. Instead, the nation-state will survive on unifying cultural traits passed down from that god to his people. This, Alexandro writes, will fasten them into the earth, creating firm groundings for the states to exist beyond any others. The latter chapters go on to describe his dream of a millennium empire, his grand plan, a nation to survive the passing of eras. The collection of ideas he gathers in his dream, an ideology structured around order, without the weakness of monarchy, the chaos of democracy, or the esoteric dependence of magocracy. The millennium empire, the fascist ideal. Fuck that dude. Okay. It's almost like he wrote it directly about this. No. Yes. Dangerous ideas. Fascism has many cities astray in raids. Whatever your thoughts are, this book is used to reshape the city. You know well how effective it is. Put the book away. Open up line manifesto by the Hedonists. Crikey! Book! They book! Always listen to your hungry stomach, it says with the big ugly letters on the first page. Crikey, you should listen to the book and the stomach! This crazy old text. This wonderful manual. Same as always, the book begins with a tirade about property ownership. Then on the 5th page you find a diagram showing how to ritualistically summon a demon. It's incorrect, however, on purpose, supposedly.
The purpose is metaphoric criticism of authoritarian governments.
The rest is a series of extreme essays on the topics of hedonism, rejection of statehood, free association, maximizing sensation, direct democracy, and reciprocal exchange. It paints up an image of an ideal world where all can live without strife, simply through cooperation and love of all things.
A loving image, communally loving.
Crikey! It's the thing that makes you feel good! The text of truth! Look at the chapter on free love. You flip to pages 52. You remember it well. Crikey, it is pictures! Tiny scribbling, something akin to stick figures, positioned in various and wrapped unities. You remember the words well. The guide on how to make ultimate sensations of flesh. Kinda hot in a sad way. Put the book away. Hedus, back to the shelf. Alright, Memories of a Statesman. First few pages are devoted to a rambling text about the history of governing, from ancient texts from various beasts of jaw to gods of the divine era, to several arcanist figures. Darrow then smoothly moves on to conflate their accomplishments with his own, especially since he also includes an explanation of his lineage, that he is a direct firstborn grandson of Borgo, Darrow, the first paladin of Earth. It's not so subtle. Many pages go on to describe both practical but mostly theoretical methods a statesman should use when dealing with the populace, the bureaucracy, and the ideologies of modern life. You haven't read this before? Luckily, you don't have time to do so now either. Generally, the book has a rather rough tone about democracy. A quote you've heard before from this book pops up towards the end. Those who believe in democracy have a wonderful view of folk, to think them capable of making rational and informed decisions, devoid of personal bias and emotional conduct. From what you remember, it caused quite a stir when it came out 2 years ago.
Quite anti-democratic. No wonder people were upset to have a magistrate use such terrible language.
You recall a rumor about Sir Lord John having hated this book so much during its printing that he personally bought 200 copies, only to burn them in his garden. It's probably not true, probably. Put the book away. Alright, open the Dark Book of Shadow by the Shadow Lord, okay. You pick up the black-covered tome, a faint tingle goes through your left hand. That's the most evil book I've ever seen. How'd they even get the cover to be that black? It's like a void. A memory lingers in this tome. If you open it, you shall recall. Should I open it despite its evil nature? I don't know, maybe. We're going to do this. We're going to put it away. And then we're going to save and we're going to open it. See what happens. I'm not above saves coming. The text is not dangerous. The pages show but a holy scripture of the Shadow Lord's lost religion, one of eternal servitude and the search for life in death. However, you remember it well. This was the first book you were ordered to study as punishment for your idiotic behavior at the towers. You remember. The first journey towards the Esoteric. Recall it. How liberating it was to know beyond any doubt how much greatness hid within your mind. Blurred faces, hushed whispers, a crowd of thoughtful peers, each snickering about your hand, a raised hand among a crowd of sheep.
Patriarch, it's not just a religious text.
They stare at you.
It's a spell book.
Those were the words. Oh, how they laughed. He asked you to prove yourself. I went up to the Shadow Patriarch. I took the Book of Shadow. Yes. Then I. Yes. Memorize detect alignment. You memorized it on the spot. Then you cast that ancient spell once used by the Death Knights of the Shadow Lord to subjugate and control the minds of his people. A spell that is, despite its first level, not learned by most clerics until they grasp the intricacies of higher tier casting. Everyone was left stunned by your excellence. To not only master such a spell, but to do it in seconds instead of days. The moment was yours. From that moment, you marked your place at the towers as the greatest spellcaster, the greatest talent among them all. However, as always, the weak fear the strong. The moment also began your ostracization. You would never be among them, never have peers. None would see you in any way as a brother or a comrade. I would be an obstacle. You are, and you shall continue to be. Gasp for air. Okay. Your vision's blurry. It's filled by the page of that book. Close the book. This magical quill and paper. Okay. Let's go ahead and save again. Oh shit, it's almost midnight. That means I can go back to that house. What is this? You know where this leads? You're very smart. Righty, you take a step into the cramped office, standing in front of a sleeping halfling. Good forenoon, citizen! Oh! He mutters and widens his bushy eyes. His confused gaze focuses on you. Life is a pain! What? A terrible, terrible pain, oh! He mutters and rubs his face.
The wrinkles fold over one another like waves on a storied sea.
Are you? He looks at you with his weary expression. Okay, this guy's tired and weary. Never mind. And he rubs his nose and sniffs twice. Are you here for the invoice? A quick glance to Snell. His words come out in a stilted halfling accent. Stilted halfling accent. What? The invoice! Shall I have an invoice? Mm-hmm. No. 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 Oh. Oh, hold on. I've already paid that invoice. They have some never opened. He leans in, facing Snell. Oh, Queen Goblin has no quell over this old scholar. He holds up a palm. Nah, we're here on city business. Yeah, I've got some questions about the tea shop, mostly. Tea shop? Then you're dealing with interesting events. The city has seen its fair share of great calamities over the years, and the tea shop explosion appears tiny in comparison. Tiny? No, it's a huge conspiracy. A huge one? Better take care of it then. Curiosity is absolutely vital for keeping the old brain in motion, so I commend you, cleric. And you as well, my goblin friend. Looks around grunting. Can I get either of you some fucking water?
You would swear words like coastal winds.
You like this guy? It's like a rabid dog without the biting so far. No, thank you, your companion replies very quickly. You're Scholar Appledent, right? Me? Yes. I am Snare Appledent, he says, and bows his head in the clear. Scholar of Fordip University in dedicated service to the progress of AIS.
AIS?
Alignment Intense Studies. Primarily, my expertise lands on the topic of alignment and its many historical and contemporary applications. Some bullshit, I'll tell you. These days, I mostly deal with other forms of study. Specifically, I run this office here on the experimental techniques of psychoanalysis. What kind of magic's that? No magic at all. Oh, although there has been some detect thoughts involved at some point in the development. It is a form of mind healing, as they call it. I'll be one to call it support instead.
This guy, I imagine this guy being like a Sigmund Freud type character.
It is essentially that the idea that the mental present is shaped by the mental past, and that through dialogue our unreleased unconscious ghosts can be vanquished. So you're talking about feelings? I know, truly horrifying. A Rhodesian friend of mine once told me that it's just a joke, and I apologize if it is too vulgar for your taste, but he sputters out the words. He sputters out the words through little chortles. No, sorry. But, okay. Listen to the vulgar joke. Right. A cleric, an arcanist, and a rogue dove into the lair of a succubus. The fiend defeats all three men, throwing them in her dungeon. But she grows to fancy them, so she offers them a choice. For each man who can successfully satisfy her, she will let the man go. Otherwise, he speaks, with little fits of laughter in between, she ends them, so to say. Crikey, it's gonna be a long tale. You actually haven't heard this one? Ho ho ho! A succubus? Such a fiend would never offer such terms to mortal men. Yes, let me tell the joke. So the three adventurers debate in which order to go. Eventually the rogue and the arcanist decide the cleric should go first, as he is a virgin, and will be least likely to increase her standards. Your goblin companion rubs his eyes as he listens to the joke. The cleric, being divine and so on, prays to his god and goes to the fiend's bedchambers. He comes out 10 minutes later completely unharmed and gives a thumbs up to his two friends, who of course both feel a great sense of relief. The arcanist goes in next, confident and arrogant. If the cleric could do it, the fiend must be easy. Within minutes, his bones roll out of the bedchamber entrance, the man having been incinerated by hellish flames. The rogue is horrified, but realizes, obviously, that Arcanus overestimated his abilities. So he carefully enters the bedchambers, ready to put every ounce of effort into it. Less than a minute later, screams erupt from the bedchamber, and the rogue's lifeless corpse falls out of the entrance. The cleric prays for the souls of his comrades and gathers their remains for burial. The succubus steps out, smoking a cigarette. She tells the cleric, "My, your friends were truly terrible. They were just fumbling about down there. At least you managed to touch it a little." To which the cleric responds, "You are truly an awful creature, and I will pray for your presence to be exorcised from this plane of existence every day until the day I die." Then, before he walks away, the cleric also adds, "Oh, but I did heal that horrible wound you had between your legs. Hopefully that makes you less evil in the future." The goblin lets out a slight gust of wind through his nose. I don't get it, no. Funny. The halfling chortles loudly. "My kind of humour, you might say. And sure, you can view the succubus as an evil in the world which religious fervour would pray to repair. However, such reparation could often lead to a not-so-optimal path." He keeps on laughing. "Or most simply, you could say it's a basic allegory for alignment itself. The cleric meant well for all intents, but his actions cost the lives of both his comrades. Is that evil or good? And so on. Either way, psychoanalysis. Yes, that's what we're talking about. It's about your feelings, thoughts, memories, choices you've made, things that have happened to you. They can bog you down, so to say, and the goal of my clinical practice is to root that out in my patients' minds and help make them aware of repressed negative baggage, if you will. So, one can move forward more speedily. I don't have any repressed negative feelings. A bold claim. It's not the only thing I work on here. I'm currently exploring the dream of Animus.
A dream of a man and woman.
You dream about men and women? Sometimes. But the dream is just a concept of understanding gender ideologies. Beyond that, I also focus a lot on my own unified theories. He slaps his knee and grins. The folk spirit, have you heard of it?
Sounds like a collective folk view on morality.
That's some kind of unified moral or ethical code of a people or culture? No, it's... He leans back and squints. That's not actually that far off. You've got ahead on you, cleric. The folk spirit is the working title for my new thesis. Most of it is, if you excuse my anaran, fucking bullshit. But in short, it's about how each folk share a number of core communal archetypes or myths. I have travelled around the coast to collect as many tales, writing down thousands of stories previously only passed down orally, all to see how well my theory holds up in the minds of so many folk. He clears his throat and leans back into his chair. Apologies, I'm ranting here. Just put a stop to it. What do you want, cleric? Let's see here.
This guy's like a cross between Carl Jung and what's his face? Freud.
Let's see here. Alright. 5, okay. What is love? Love? He lets out a frustrated groan. Pure calamity. Deadly and destructive. Its nature is just perverted and foul, because it is a complete surrender without idealization. The love is to accept, without proof or demands or conditions, its complete surrender to another. Ridiculously risky. You know a lot about love. Sure I do. My wife would certainly attest to it, despite my horrid nature. And the familiar love is close to my heart as well. My 2 boys are my most prized works. You have a wife and kids? Yes, but nothing we need to talk about. Private life is private and so on, he says for that.
He does not wish to speak about this, not one bit. His personal life leaves a twinge of pain in the crease of his eyes every time he thinks of it.
It's worth it, right? Worth it? He slaps his knees and takes a breath.
Calming himself down for the punchline.
Love is a completely unpredictable and dangerous encounter. And I've yet to meet a sentient folk which is not afflicted by it, and interestingly enough, I see no difference. It is universal. Elf love, halfling love, devil love. True love is always irrational. It is finding the perfect inside of the imperfect, and falling entirely into it, swallowed by it. Some folk might act out in different ways, depending on their communal nature or biological urges. But if you are one of the few who do not need it, good, be happy. If you are not, then good luck, and may the gods bless your soul. Let's ask about the tea shop. What do you know about the tea shop? One exploded? Ah, horrific. He gestures wildly towards the rocky wall. Shit started shaking. It's as if the red rock of Tolstead itself was cracking. Well, half a second or so. So you were down here when it happened? Yes. I think I was asleep. The sound awoke me. Did you go check it out? No. Someone told me later what it was like. I have work to do here. You know anything about it? Rumours? You should not believe rumours, cleric. But yes, I did hear some nasty stuff. Some people seem to think the owner did it himself, since he is missing. Some others think the city did it, since they printed a clear lie in the post. I've also heard people say that Asgallus are responsible, since it was their hideout. Or that the Freestriders did it, for the same reasons, blowing up Asgallus' opposition and so on. It's all bullshit, of course. Don't believe rumors. What do you think happened? He shrugs violently. I got some other questions. Good. Let's see here. You need me some money, Alan? Of course, I'm a bit swamped in work right now. I'll get you a book slot. I have time after the election. You should come visit then. Can't you make the time now? No, I'm afraid I cannot. Truth be told, I'm very overworked. I'm struggling with a certain topic. He makes a noise that might once have been a cough.
The old man is frustrated. He is trying to avoid even thinking about it.
What? I'm focusing on a specific idea of civics. The idea of two opposite faces of your ego, masculine and feminine. But I just can't seem to get past a certain hurdle, obstacle. Explain. You see, there's a work called Book of the Mind. It is, in my opinion, civics' masterpiece, in a figurative sense. Oh, it's like a secret book, hidden deep in some dungeon. Oh no, I own several copies. There's a rare edition of this book, which contains a rumored so-called final foreword from Civics himself. In this foreword, he apparently reveals a revelation about his categorization of the psyche, specifically on the topic of gender. Might be nothing, but it would be highly interesting to get my grubby hands on it. He leans in and whispers, and more importantly, it would bring me great pleasure to know how much civics would be spinning in whatever Thessalian mass grave he's buried in if he knew a halfling like myself was pioneering in his footsteps. Ho ho! Understandable, you guys are pretty weird. I might be, but most halflings are quite boring normally. Snurr leans back in his chair. This final 6th edition of the book, it was only printed in 10 copies. The publisher then hiked up the price in order to sell it to collectors. Those collectors have then spent the last 3 decades using these copies as a form of investment, making sure to keep the content of that foreword a tightly guarded secret. How terrible! Scholars' words should be freely available. Nothing is ever free, even it is free. So, you want to find this rare book? He nods. I drank a bit too much the other night, and in my desperation I paid a diviner to cast Locate Object for me. I did not expect anything, and it was very expensive. However, she actually found it. A copy of the 6th edition Book of the Mind is here, very close to Water Lane View. And she's even told me the exact direction. He points down the floor, about 40 meters, straight down. In the city below? Yes, exactly. Meters? Right. That's something like 100 feet. 150 maybe. Sorry, the diviner was a freestrider. You know how they're like in the reeds. Silly decibel people. And do you trust this diviner? Well, trust might be a bit strong of a word. But she was connected to the freestriders. And while they are ruthless capitalists, they would not keep a scam artist around. Or if they did, it would be very funny, of course. What was the name of this diviner? Lisa, I believe. He sniffs. She used to have a hut on top of the Freestrider building. I wandered away, I think. It wandered away, I think. Okay. Wandered? He makes his little walking motions with his fingers. Skadoodled, as they say. That's very strange. She seemed kind. I hope she stops working for those fucking parasites. It sounds like a quest. Sure, why not? So many side quests. Still mutters to himself. Delve into the dangerous tunnels below and get me that book. Don't get yourself killed. In exchange, I will, well, what the fuck kind of war do you want? You swear a lot. Yes, fuck you. Life is pain, get over it. I want you to teach me how to be a man? No. I want you to heal my broken mind. I don't know, you have a magic item or something? He shrugs. I have books in droves. You know, what? He says and snaps his fingers. The book itself is expensive and probably magical in some sense. Get me the book, let me take a look at that forward, and you keep the book afterwards. That's still a quest, right? But I don't have to even return the book. In that case, I can just take the book and go. So you can't offer me something else too? What? You want a hug? He sighs. I suppose I can offer some guidance in understanding the book as well, if you let me make a copy of that foreword real quick. Chia, he sniffs. I'm not an expert in what kind of weird shit is down there, but the city below is dangerous, so do not wander blindly. Good luck, cleric.
Alright, let's do the rest of this dialogue tree here. I'm going to inquire about this folk spirit.
Imagine, if you will, the origin of our stories.
All stories?
Yes, all of them. As sentient folk, we clearly have the base ability to come up with random ideas and turn them into emotionally resonant tales. Tales that explore the conditions of life itself and make us feel many things. But an interesting thing happens if one were to study the core parts of these stories. That even if we look at the stories crafted entirely different bands, separate isolated tribes, or even in worlds outside Draw itself, there's overlap. Should I just let him speak? Just repeat the last thing he said, that will make you sound smart. Overlap! Indeed! Humans who live in the remote mountains of Yim have their same repeated tropes and their foundational myths as humans and the reeds. Same for halflings. The Stormbloods of Karkabish have the same variations of my people and Fordnip, despite being separated in esoteric evolution by at least 10 millennia. It's as if every folk is haunted by a spirit, like an unconscious collective dream of concepts and ideas that follow us, even when those separate folk originate from entirely different worlds. Could you imagine? Two folk arrive through two separate gates of Jaw. They are alien to one another, culturally, spiritually, biologically. Yet they share those core myths. That is what I'm studying.
This guy is basically Carl Jung. Okay.
Hello? That's very interesting, isn't it? Most importantly, it's provable.
A unified soul of people. What happens upon merger?
Let's see here. What happens when two folk types merge? Yes! He lifts his finger. No clue.
He's honest.
It is even harder to pinpoint due to the nature of merging cultures. In cases like humans and dwarves here in Novik, there's more data, but not enough to say anything of note.
It's Gallist. That's my political alignment.
But it seems to me like the folk spirit remains pure, in a sense, in one direction or the other. For example, humans can obviously reproduce with dwarves, but the offspring is always aesthetically and biologically speaking very human, which does not make sense biologically. We are scientifically speaking different species. Dogs do not breed with cats, do they? The same effect can be seen in most functional folk mixed breeding. Logically, it should not be. Evolutionary adaptation dictates the creation of a mixture, not a one-sided creature. So it is theorized to be some type of powerful esoteric effect that allows this reproduction to take place. In the scholarly community, we call it the OSO effect, one-sided offspring.
Thanks, yes, Asgellus rule.
But then that mean the dwarves would eventually just stop existing in Novik and just become human? That's a good question. If two people live alongside one another for long enough time and they reproduce with one another equally, but the offspring are all aesthetically human, then yes, eventually there would only be one people, and it would be a people who look human. However, there is a big factor in charge here. That is the elusive and enticing topic of mating preference. There is not much proven data I can point to, but if you allow me to speculate, that it would say only a minority of the population of any tribe will ever have a strict preference for mating outside of that tribe. Without a basic assumption like that, I do not believe the tribe itself would remain intact enough for civilization to emerge. So, in the case of dwarves and Norvik, I do not believe the two tribes can ever truly merge. Cooperate? Yes. Cohabitate? Of course. Even mingle and date and crossbreed? Absolutely, why not? But merge? No, impossible. Of course, this assumption ignores the OSO effect, so it feels a bit crockpotty. Take it as you wish. Let's see here. You know a lot about this topic, huh? Once again, I'm afraid this is all coming from experiments performed by arcanists. Horrifically so. So one side is always dominant, huh? Not biologically speaking, but esoterically, yes. Objectively so. There's a list of this hierarchy in some textbooks, but it's a pretty taboo topic, as you might imagine. And you think the folk spring follows the one-sided offspring? Maybe. I have not done enough work to say anything for sure. Nor have I been peer-reviewed. Nor am I very sane or a stable individual. He grins. Alright. As provable, let's see here. Reproducibility, analysis. Cultures and folk with no contact with one another, even originating from different worlds, have the same core myths. Narrative traits, archetypes, repeated tropes. It's the same method used when uncovering ancient dead languages, using common denominators to narrow down similarities and differences. He adjusts his mustache. No, there hasn't been that much reproducibility yet from my peers. I'm still working on getting other scholars in on this topic. And the folk spirit are better than the others? Better means nothing. There's so much weight put onto making one greater in some perspective than the others. It's just a ridiculous game of dick swinging. Of course, I also hate this horrid idea that every culture is amazing and wonderful and, everyone is holding hands and dancing together. No! Every culture is equally terrible. But they are all specialized. The symbols we produce are clothed in meaning based on lived experience. A human living in the frozen tundra will derive and require much different practical uses of those core myths than a man living in the harsh deserts. Yet each folk type has its own fundamental traits that these symbols represent. You talk a lot. I know, just tell me to shut up when you get tired. I think I understand now. The goblin crosses his arms, ready to hear your comment. The halfling scholar leans back in his armchair. Let's see here. It's kind of funny. Alright, I think you got something cool cooking here. Oh, you do? Gives you a quick nod. I would not spend my old age here if I don't agree to, in some deep sense. He sniffs. Thank you for listening to my rant, cleric. You as well, my goblin friend. You're welcome. Alright. An expert in alignment, huh? Somewhat. I wrote a masterpiece on the subject. I should account for somewhat of an understanding on the subject. Not enough, never enough. He sniffs. Just like, okay. Any change your alignment? Of course, any creature is capable of leaning in the axis, depending on their day-to-day actions. So devils are just lazy, then? He scratches his cheek. Bit more complicated than that. Look, like all things, it's messy. Let's say lawful evil. I'm not. Sure, but for the sake of argument, let's hypothetically assume you are. But I'm not. A moment of silence from the halfling scholar seems to indicate that he is contemplating whether or not you are capable of entertaining hypothetical reasoning at all. Which from your statements here, you are at least very much indicating you are not. Let's just pretend you are. You find that being labelled as evil is bad for your business, or your work prospects as one might. So you choose to donate a large sum of money to charity that will inevitably be help thousands. You might even save some lives with those spent coins. Okay. But you said I was evil. Yes, but you're trying not to be. In this case, you performed an objectively good, selfless action for evil, selfish reasons. So what happens next? He points at you. Nothing. Nothing? I did a good thing. You remain lawful evil. But let's change the parameters. Instead, you are a lawful evil man who genuinely wishes to repent, to pay for the many evil things you've done in your life before. And if this man performs a selfless action with the intention of selflessness, and all of a sudden it will begin to shift in his alignment. Intention's all that matters. Yes, this effect has obviously been studied for centuries. It's aptly named Alignment Intent Studies. I personally received my scholarship through studying delusional intent. We gathered a large amount of very mentally unwell people, mostly from local prisons and post-war reads, who truly believed in a very different worldview than most others. For example, this one man was certain that he had to kill his fellow man, or the world would end, one murder a week. An extreme delusion. However, any direct detection spell showed him to be neutral good, and he felt terrible about all the murders he had committed. He was not selfish, in fact he was more selfless than most, willing to perform acts that horrified him in order to save us all. The objective outcome of his actions mattered not, no more than the outcomes of the actions of a person under a charm spell. Okay, let's see here. Why? This means everything I do is branded as good, evil, chaotic, or lawful, even this that I'm saying right now. In some small sense, yes. The very act of speaking, no matter what you say, will always give you very, very small points in any direction. Although, you could imagine trying to keep track of it all. It would be insane. So no person would ever go to such lengths, so no need to keep track of stuff like that. It will only drive you mad. It's funny. Can you will yourself in changing your alignment? In theory, yes. So what if you're not smart enough to understand your actions? That is what we call the sentience line. It's not exact. Animals, for example, are true neutral by default. Any that is not a pure beast, but rather affected by esoteric forces on some level. That's the theory, at least. But imagine a man who loses enough of his mental faculties to be considered a beast, no longer living in the world of good or evil. Let's say he was chaotic good beforehand. What happened to his alignment? Does he suddenly turn true neutral? Is he stuck at chaotic good? Or does he somehow slide towards true neutral? Because that's another thing. There is no known way to perform a neutral action. All actions are either some level of selfish, selfless, lawful, or chaotic. In a wide spectrum. But you can never just move towards the center. It is just not allowed. Alright. How do you end up at your alignment to begin with? Are you born with it? No. All creatures are born true neutral. And all reported metrics show babies are unable to perform alignment shifts until the age of about 3 to 7, depending on the folk. But interestingly enough, it's shown that most people will only perform 1 or 2 alignment shifts in their entire lifetime. He scratches his cheek and sniffs a couple of times, during adolescence. After that, less than a tenth of folk will ever shift again. That is fairly substantially verified data as well. So essentially, despite having free will, folk will always lean towards the natural behavior over time. So we're slaves to our own natures? On a broad scales, we're looking at data, yes. But it was Civitics who wrote, there is no honor in branding a naturally selfless man as good. There is all honor in a selfish monster receiving the same title. Remember that. What's the difference between alignment and personality? Not too much correlation on paper. Studies on personality show that there is overlap. Conscientious folk tend to be more lawful. Neurotic and open folk tend to be more good, to a minor degree. But we're talking about still unverified and very minor correlations. Alright, made my decision. Okay. Let's see here. What is my meal at? I'm gonna be chaotic good. Lawful good is a little bit too doesn't leave a lot of room for nuance. Neutral good is you might as well just be apolitical. Chaotic is good is your, you know, you try to do good, but you can be a little naughty sometimes. So yeah, that's what I do. That's not how it works, cleric. You'd have to be incredibly deluded and be an absolute living in your own world, mentally unstable in order to simply decide what your alignment were and actually get an outcome from it. But I suppose it can't hurt. Good luck being sorry. What did you choose again? It was, yes? Makes more sense to focus on yourself, not being constricted by the rules. Chaotic then, perhaps chaotic evil. Maybe don't say that out loud though. Crikey. Neutral.
Chaotic good. Your heart tells you clearly every day you don't live for you. You live for others against all structural horrors the world has brought up around you.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm okay, good. Right, good. A little unorderly. I like it. He nods. Good luck with that, cleric. Who decides what any of this means? There are theories. Some say it's the gods. Some say it's Jaw himself, who controls the parameters in this world of his. Some believe it's simply inscribed into the universe, an absolute law. What do you think? I do not know. If I had to guess, I would say it's something overlapping between worlds. Mostly because I do not believe Jaw, from all I've read, to be smart enough to make up a system as complicated as this on his own. Does alignment matter? Oh no, not in any real way. It can be a tool, but if you not read it properly, seeing a man branded with chaotic evil means nothing. But if you learn, it can be used to understand folk better. You can statistically expect an evil person to act in their own interest, and you can expect a good person to act in the interest of others. A smart man can use this to his advantage, which is also an evil act, I believe. Funny how it goes. Or is it illegal to be evil? Might as well make it illegal to be sentient. Branding it as evil might be the core problem here. There were arcanists who created alternate naming conventions for alignments, altruism, and egotism, for example, but did not catch on, as they say. But everyone has to be evil sometimes. Imagine your family is starving alongside two other families who are also starving. The other families are smaller folk who need only half as much food. Would you feed your own family or sacrifice them to feed the other two families? Depends what are the other two families like. I'll feed my own family. What kind of man would willingly let them starve? That is a noble answer. Yes. But what exactly is objectively considered in alignment terms in this scenario? It is selfish to care for your own people before others? Is it more to do with the exact number of people who live or die, suffer or prosper, in a purely utilitarian perspective? These questions have all been asked before and have arguably been answered. And what we can see, especially looking at the data collected from horrendously unethical experiments performed by Arcanist scholars, it's just about intention. If a man chooses to focus on his own family, but feels really bad about the other starving families, then he will be more good than another man who does not think about the others suffering at all. The proximity rule states that the emotional distance between yourself and the target determines the level of selfishness. If you sacrifice your life to protect your family, that's more selfish than it is if you sacrifice your life for a stranger. The latter is more good. So in the end, a genuinely selfless person will always have a much easier time being branded with good than a naturally selfish one. He scratches his hairy eyebrows simultaneously. By the gods, I talk too much. Make me stop. That's all about alignment. No? Okay, good. He wiped some sweat off his brow. Actually, I need to talk to that. It's after midnight. I need to talk to that guy. I'm going to come back to this guy. Go and save. I need to talk to Coin Debtor, or whatever the name is. Almost dead, but not yet. Alright. How do we get out of here? Something stuck between the pages. Hey. Nice. Alright, how do I get out of here? Is that where I came from? Yes. Alright, let's go back to main area. Let's see, is it down here? Yeah. Fuck that crab. I think time only moves forward in conversations, if I'm not mistaken. Oops, I need to... A long way to climb. Thank the gods, you do not have to try so hard this time. Alright, top. Alright, I need to go to... What's that? Let's see here. How do we get out of here? Come on. Ah! No, go down! Oh wait, no, it's... Need to go... My mistake. It is... Yeah, I need to go back up there. And around. Alright. Let's talk to... What do you mean I can't get in here? It's after midnight. Oh, it's the guard tower. Okay. That's right. The entrance was to the left, wasn't it? Over here? No, stop. Get back. Oh, there are apples here? Let's get some apples. Hell yeah. Alright. There is Nest, Upper Tilston. Alright, Ancient Lady. Let's go ahead and save again. Here. A knightly helmet must be a leftover. Take it. Yes. Can I take it? Charisma -2 dexterity. Let's look at our inventory. Oh wait, shit. Hold on. Inventory. How do I check the stats? Oh, let's see here. +2 charisma and dexterity. What's my, I'm at 15 dexterity. 14 wisdom. Okay, I mean, that's not a bad trade-off. I like that. What is this? Small Pixie Essence. It's spelled okay. That's my
Starting helm, anything here? Wisdom 1 charisma. Cost and spell slot requirement of sending is created in many off-brand versions capable of short distance messaging. During the Coast War, the Arcanist forces were often equipped with this so-called pebble, a stone capable of casting, sending on. Okay, it says that's like an accessory. Okay, can I put that there? Maybe. Maybe. Yes. All right. Cool. All right, and then. Oh my God! Will he not take it off? Okay. All right. Good. I kind of like the helmet though. +2. Yeah. Well, that's good. I like that. What we got here? Constitution. Wisdom. All right. That's good. Quick save. No. What else we got here? An LR of Norvik, an LR of a girl, and a newspaper clipping about the Coin Lord. Alright. Talk to Angel Lady. The angel stands tall. She's blocking the hallway, leading further into the Coin Lord's mansion.
She looks like a giant in here, despite the high ceiling.
Her many eyes glare at you. Is the magistrate? Points to the stairs. She nods. He will see you now, cleric. Crikey! The words leave you shaking. Goblin gives you a stern look. Yeah, it's dangerous. Super dangerous. Okay. Wait, can I look at, let's behold this guy. Behold! Human Earthfolk. Here he is, the Coin Lord of Norvik and the Magistrate of Toasted. At the top of the stairs, you see a man placed upon his silken throne. He's well groomed and face lit by a single bulb candle, but does not look at you. Instead, he folds his copy of the Norvikian Post in half in size. I was waiting for you. What are you looking at? It's Coin Lord Darrow in the flesh. Don't make him mad. This is your boss. Ah, are you here about this? The man slaps his newspaper. As Gallus Opportunist strikes fear in Silka's guild, he reads to you. Then he lowers the paper and mutters, 9,000 crowns in damages. Damn, that's like 2 years' salary.
He looks annoyed and impressed at the same time.
The Asgal spirit is strong. Yes, they certainly are tenacious.
His eyes. He is reading you.
Are you... Did you take the helmet from downstairs?
Yes?
He cracks a smile. Ah, whatever, go ahead. Take what you need. Your goblin companion lets out a sigh of relief. That's what life has come to here in this city, isn't it? Everyone just grabbing what they need. It's democracy. I like democracy, except not in the Free Strider way. Not many clerics do, from what I can hear. Darrow lets out a sigh, folding his paper in half again. It's the age of crowds, that's what they call it. And the loudest voices keep shouting, at me in particular, it seems. The crowd has power beyond belief. He furrows his brow. The moonlight makes him look like a marble bust.
He is certainly playing his part.
He shifts his eyes over to your companion. I see you've picked up a goblin. He takes a step forward. Lord Darrow, Lady Sageleaf has declared a joint operation. Of course she has, cleric. If you will, I would like to speak with you in private. Excuse me. The goblin glances to you and then to the Coin Lord. Seriously?
Hey, he's with me. Wait. It's fine, he's cool. Sure, now if you please. He gestures towards the stairs. Your services are not needed at the moment. Thank you. Snell lifts his head into the air. Uh-huh. Don't piss off the goblin. You want him to watch your back.
Snell would appreciate it if you stood up for him.
No good option here. Someone's going to get pissed. Crikey, tension, sweat. What can you say? Snell, styes. The tall man glares at you. Damn. Crikey, your asshole puckers. Glare back. You hear a chuckle from your companion. It's fine. Late, anyhow. He gives you a knowing glance. I'm heading home. First thing tomorrow, cleric. The tone of his voice gives it away. He respects you a little bit now. Snell gives you a quick nod, then he turns to leave. The coin lord glances out the window and remains quiet for a moment. I feel compelled to ask. Once you hear the door closing behind Snell on his way out, he continues. How was your meeting with our dear goblin chieftain? I meditated. Good man. His jaw tightens and loosens.
You notice a ring on his finger. It looks esoteric.
I must apologize, cleric. Tossing you around as a pawn in this regrettably political game of ours isn't something I'd hoped for. You obviously have much more important matters to attend to in the palace. Not really. The Lord is flattering you. The Lord is flattering you. He's gotten fair in the life using this tactic. I'm here to protect the city, my lord. Good, good. I'm pleased to hear that. First things first, I'm obliged to offer accommodations during your stay here on Tolston. Obliged? Interesting. Well choice. It is customary for clerics on a job to be given free housing by their employer. You may stay in the old guard tower. The coin lord tosses you an iron key. That key will get you access to the tower. Your tower uses one of the floors. You take the top one. This tower? Is it fancy? He stifles a laugh. It'll do.
As I say, it'll suit you perfectly.
He shuffles about, looking annoyed for a moment. Now, about the incident. As soon as the fires were put out, I had a city engineer inspect for structural damages. He speaks of the tea shop. Obviously. Once it was cleared and no casualties were reported, I shut it down. Without an investigation? Initially, yes, as a precaution. The reasons why we've been so very careful with this whole ordeal is simply because we do not want to cause more strife. We've got enough of that already, Earth, pray tell.
Suddenly, you see how very tired this man is. And his breath smells funky. He knows what he said. Your real job here is not to solve this crime. A real job's to dodge arrows for the magistrate. Yeah, that sounds about right. Strife? It's election week, cleric. We got illegal rallies, copper presses full of lies, and a populace ready to tear their neighbours into pieces. If the city is to survive, we need to play it safe. He rubs his eyes. Then we've also got a tired old Lord Patriarch who hasn't left his villa for years. Yes, Lord Patriarch Akasa. He is old, but he's hanging in there. That leaves us in charge. We the people? No. Me and you? No. You? The magistrates? Yes, cleric. We, along with the straggling patriarchs and other palace officials, hold the reins in this election with the party of Norvik. Trust me, it's not easy being a magistrate. Anyhow, the tea shop. He gestures for you to continue the conversation.
What's your theory? This matter with the tea shop is one big distraction, I'm afraid. Of course it is. right before the election, at the heart of the city. Political manipulation. You think a party's behind it? He holds up his hand. I'm not saying anything, but it certainly is an exciting thought. I do not believe any party has enough incentive to pull off something like this. My purest guess would be someone with access to arcane artifacts, or at worst, a rogue spellcaster. Someone who would benefit from scared goblins and angry Asgulls. So, a radical.
If a party was to blame, that would cause a headache for him.
What information you had? A aggressive spread of fire, a loud explosion. Militia rush across the halfway bridge and put it out. He looks out the window. The owner is missing. But no one got hurt. Got it. Keep him talking. You need more info before you ask him about the tea shop. Well, it might be smart to go for the tea shop question straight away. Who knows how you fuck it up if you keep asking questions? You require information. Ask. So you have the coin lord. For now. Post-election, I may not end up on a very long vacation. Is that angel your bodyguard or something? More or less. A tier is a high prefect. Every magistrate gets the highest tier of protection available. She's not much of a talker, but I can't say I dislike it. I flirted with her. Oh. The coinman laughs. Oh. He laughs one more. Oh.
He finds you very entertaining.
Yes, that is very much obvious. Thank you. You hear that, Atia? Tara calls out down the stairs. Yes, magistrate, she replies coldly from below. The magistrate shakes his head. Earth be good. How's the election going? We're winning.
His voice is not cheerful.
We're not happy about it. He scoffs. We've got a third part of the populace. A third! That means we've already lost the goodwill of a large portion of the human population, according to the latest polls. The campaign is a half failure. It'll get us over the finishing line. What's your problem with the Escalists? You're kidding! He laughs. They have infiltrated every guild. Their rally circus causes near riots whenever they gather up. They are disrupting the economy. When the Hungarian party fell apart, we almost had a famine on our hands. Well, he corrects himself straight away. Famine is a bit of an exaggeration, but they did practically ruin our grain exports for an entire quarter. Hells, we'd be better off with the free striders any day of the week. They at least uphold basic economic stability. Hey, spitting truth!
They indeed did not cause a famine. The only ones responsible for that economic upheaval were the shareholders refusing to increase the wages of farmhands. That is why they all flipped green. They wanted a decent income. They were instead fired from their positions if they in any way supported Asgalism, which in turn slowed down the production of grain, thus hurting their exports. If they had only shared a small amount of their profits, their quota would have been fine.
The campaign? The national campaign, and at reigniting the spirit of Earth in his folk. It's been 70 years since the reconquest. Let us celebrate that victory. The fancy man feigns a chair. You argue it was quite successful. Before this campaign, humans were kind of lost. Now they have puppets. He sighs. You've read Alexandro, I assume? Say yes, it would make you look smart. Of course. I found a copy of it down below in the collection of halflings of a halfling scholar. I've read it many times before, obviously. He waves his hand. Of course. But you'd be surprised, not every cleric is as well read as you'd imagine. We followed his teachings when building a campaign. A campaign to bridge the gap between a follower of Earth and a citizen of Norfolk. Sounds like fascism to me. Indeed, that was the term Alexandro used. Horrifying! What sort of chaos is the election brewing? All kinds. Some other non-election questions. What do you know about the owner of the tea shop, a bird folk male, called Drum something, the type to show up in all kinds of registrars in the palace. But he didn't have any expensive insurance or anything. No insurance at all, in fact. Poor guy.
He feels nothing but contempt for this bird.
The bird hasn't left the city in any official capacity. He's on the list. So you don't know where he is? The coin lord leans back. Maybe he's halfway to Vargeni by now. Maybe he's down in the sewers. Who knows, cleric? His kind can be found in all kinds of strange places. Bird folk are known for their criminal acumen.
A rude stereotype.
Is the missing paladin involved? Is that what the papers call him now? Lord Gorm has been missing for weeks, so I'm afraid the timeline doesn't quite add up. He shakes his head. If you find him skulking about below, you can ask him anything you want. Just let him know he's been kicked off the campaign, okay?
He sounds pissed. Paladins would often delve too deep into the tunnels below Novik. It's tradition, really.
If you find him, perhaps there'll be a reward. If the goblins hadn't pushed for it, you'd have sent for me. Would you have sent for me? The posh man looks you up and down. No, I don't think I would have. Honestly? He's not talking around it. Means he doesn't see you as a threat. I really should have sent someone with more... No. What's my actual job here? Your actual job? It's to do what I ask of you.
He's getting tired of this.
Look around the rubble, ask around for witnesses or evidence. I want you to keep the goblins happy. Do that and I'll be happy. I need access to the tea shop.
His eyes. He's thinking of making a choice.
How? Now is the time to convince him. Be careful. The goblins are not the only ones with eyes on our scorched tea shop. In fact, I have been advised to simply ignore the whole thing. To just let it go. That would be foolish. His eyes pierce through the visor of your helmet. Why?
He wants your truthful answer.
He is not asking rhetorically. Interesting. He genuinely wants your input. The city should protect its citizens, no matter their political affiliations. He listens to your words closely. Well, Sageleaf is insistent. He sighs and looks down out the window. I'm in a difficult position, cleric. Do make it easier for me, will you? You want me to help the goblins? He speaks with a projected voice and says, I want to be able to trust you. Yeah. He interrupts your continuing. Trust that you'll be able to keep this on the down low.
He fears something about this tea shop.
That if anything unseemly were to be uncovered, you'd of course keep such things from non-city affiliated factions. This coin lord fellow flaps his lips like a barnacle goose, but you can follow. Do you understand?
Not a question, a demand.
Wait! This is your chance to stand your ground! Turn the tide on this fucking convo! He's trying to steamroll me, right? Yep! He's really manhandling you! Hilarious! Come on, stand up for yourself! He'll respect you for it! You gotta catch up! No, just accept it. I gotta get... So I need 13... But I got a +3 disadvantage, so that's 16, but -4. Alright, let's try it. Let's do it. You got this, cleric. You're the cleric. No. Awful. You close your eyes. You listen. You listen now, you big buffoon, you! You've got approximately 1.5 seconds before this world mancer takes control of the conversation again. So it's time to shoot your shot. Shit, you can't think of anything, can you? Nope, nothing. Well, good luck to you. What do you mean? You're on your own now? You're not gonna help out? No way. The whole thing's fucked. So what do I say? No clue. But you've been standing here quiet for at least 30 seconds at this point. It's time for you to open your eyes. I guess I should. Open your eyes. The magistrate is reading his newspaper.
He has now lost all interest in serving your strange behavior.
He glances up at you. Oh, you're finished. You started breathing funny, so I assumed you needed a moment. But it's fine. It's not like I'm busy or anything. He is very much ease. Anyway, at the tea shop. I need reassurance, cleric. Reassurance that you won't oppose the official city narrative. Swear on it, cleric. Who wants to know? This guy. Breaking an oath is a serious moral crime in this weird city, at least among your peers. You want an oath? If you want my blessing to investigate the tea shop, yes. Really, an oath. This is a sensitive situation. I need to place my trust in you. Alright. Go down on one knee. God damn it. You bow before the magistrate, ready to recite the words that you so solemnly remember. He looks down on you, his smirk now faded. On the name of the last-born god, be blessed. Earth, be blessed. I swear to uphold the truth, justice, and holy realm of his conquest. I swear to uphold the truth, justice, and holy realm of his conquest. And serve your cause as a humble servant until my service is finished. Careful now, use another word and this asshole won't own you. See, and serve your cause as a humble servant until my service is finished. Serve your cause as a humble servant. And serve... Oh, okay. Careful not use another word and this asshole won't own you. Oh. Ah, there. And serve his cause as a humble servant until my service is finished. The coin lord nods. He places his hand on your shoulders. Okay, now get up. The passphrase is Cardium poison.
No one would ever speak ill of that wonderful spice.
Report back to me on election day. Make sure to clear this up with the goblins before then, will you? Thank you, magistrate. Just make it happen. Alright. I save. We do check out one more thing here and probably call the stream for the night or the afternoon. Check out my journal, questing tree. I think there's a class conflict, I think. Class conflict. Let's do this. Oh, I already completed it. Okay. Did I? They must have realized by now. You're not just some government goon. You are. Of course not. I am the cleric. That's right. The one and only Norbrick's protector and hero of the downtrodden. The cleric. This is your calling, your duty, your life. Since you joined the Earth Guard to make sense of this unruly life of yours. It is your calling. This is where you found your zealotry, your love for this city, your meaning in life. Feel clerical.
There are other traits as well. One's more in tune with your natural inclinations.
Ah, of course, all that druidcraft.
Yes, you have shown promise as a primal caster. A friendly local druid. That is also a choice you could make in the coming years. One that would suit your demeanor well and potentially grant you access to healthy friendships.
Crikey, and so on. Tell me more about the friendly local druid.
Spend more time in the great outdoors. This is the first step.
Friendly local druid, extra proficiency in roles when in natural habitats. This includes outside areas, overgrown areas, and caverns. Moist holes also count. Tell me more about the cleric. With that name as your pride, you will keep going through divine sacred magic. Healing spells are increased by an extra proficiency. Your heals can also be increased by your strength modifier instead of your wisdom modifier if it's higher. Well, that seems helpful. Yes. Cleric. Oh, yes.
I'm the cleric!
Earth be blessed you are. Alright. What we got here? Questing. Did I already complete that? I thought I already completed this.
Hey! You've been doing great work out there! I'm assuming this is about asking about people about the election thing. Hells yeah! You know what that makes you? A herald! A democratic herald! Doesn't that sound nice?
But I hate democracy.
And what does that mean? Someone who spreads the word. Someone who gets people engaged with the democratic process. Look, this is what the new world is all about. People talking to each other, sharing ideas, debating, listening. Every conversation is a little spark of democracy igniting. And you're fanning those flames. So here's the thing. All that talking, it's energizing. When you engage with people about what matters, when you get them thinking, discussing, caring, it fills you up. Makes you feel alive.
Alright, tell me about the Democratic Herald.
Every time you ask someone what they are voting for, you feel a surge of vitality. It's the excitement of democracy in action.
You regained hit points each time you ask someone. Okay, cool.
So here's the thing. All that talking, it's energizing.
Okay, got that.
Alright, I'm ready to accept defeat. That's the spirit. Good.
Alright. What else we got here? I got that quest still going. That's the main quest. Tea shop. I need to go back to Water Lane. That'll probably be next stream. Okay, so I've got the key to the tea shop. That's what I should go to do next. What do we got here? Young and dumb. Okay. I forgot I could do these alignment quest stuff. Trouble brewing. Young women running around the streets slinging Asgallus propaganda to unsuspecting citizens. This guy's a dick. I hate this guy. Boys causing chaos in the name of some hapless magazine-inspired rebellion. This cannot be tolerated.
It really can be.
What?
You've attempted to get political. They're learning as they go.
That kind of looseness will bring order to its knees. It's all.
The Asgal youth did nothing to warrant such pushback. This era is one of communication, ideas, interchanged freely between a populace of free-minded thinkers, folk dreaming of an egalitarian potential.
I don't know why I know exactly what that fucking word is, but I can't fucking pronounce it whenever it comes up.
Egalitarian potential. However, the problems lie with the unfortunates who break and sear Volcarian thought with reckless unkindness. You must pray for them, beg of them, to please stop being so mean.
Appealing to the better nature. Great idea.
We must keep hope for those with anger in their hearts.
Those boys must be unkempt and rough, but they are proud citizens of a great city. I should have been sarcastic there, actually. They are performing a service, albeit a crude one beyond the realm of the law.
Fuck them.
But the youth Asgals, they are even more unlawful, to a much steeper degree. The Asgard girls were just doing a technically criminal crime. The boys were doing multiple literal actual fire-related crimes. It is a morality issue, not a legality issue.
You weigh morality upon the shoulders of ideology in this case. You see that, do you not?
The only shoulders being weighed upon here are your manly, bulging, muscular traps.
What has happened here is a complication upon society, a representation of the wider culture. Young men are drawn towards the rough, downtrodden world of the dreamers, the hope of a national unity through an Earthian story, one of leadership and honor. But without that guiding star, there is no such singularity, no control, no wise king to bend the knee to. Instead, those boys are simply expressing pain through violence, enacted onto those who are attempting to craft a more caring future. That is, younger women. They are, as opposed to young men, are drawn towards a more social type of unity, with welfare and Asgardian flattened hierarchical structures, beyond Asgard himself, who is by his function also a male figure, is to womanly people you shall look towards. Lady Fair is one.
The halfling god?
Yes, Lady Fair and those not, the walking god who gave everything to save her people. Their words are few, but spread far across the coast. Their church is quite active among Novician society, as an organization of charity, one open to all folk, no matter their origin. An
God, why can't I fucking say? Okay.
an egalitarian.
I'm just, oh, God damn it. You know that fucking word, man. Okay. I'm like, and I said it like 2 seconds ago. For some reason, I cannot pronounce it when I read it.
An egalitarian dream. This is why women, as harsh as it is to say, are simply more suited to Novician leadership. Lady Fair makes it clear. A house held by a woman stands any season.
But I want to lead to the future and I'm not a woman. Does that mean? Let's see here. Good, I have no interest in the future and or any type of leadership. I feel like there should be some middle ground here. I agree. Women clearly build a more thoughtful and caring world for us all. Feel like a good man for thinking such egalitarian things. There is something so powerful about dreams. Ideas spreading from man to woman, woman to man. But the Asgardian dream is not a blessing. It is a smile wrought in pain. A vision, 1,000 layers of intersected nets and labels, tangling every person and staring them into oppressor or oppressed. And there is oppression. There are unfair hierarchies. The world is corrupt, but not fundamentally. These boys are pushing back against Asgardism. That is only natural. It is an ideology which pushes a foundational belief that they are naturally, oppressively superior. If a young man grows up in squalor, finding zero advantages from him being a man among patriarchs, nor any power from being a human, especially if he grows up within non-human clusters, something many of the poorest humans do. When he is unable to find a job at age 19 and has almost no political, societal, or economic power in his life, which dream do you think he would believe in? The one calling him to fight to reclaim what is his by right, a good life, as a future patriarch, or the one calling him an oppressor?
It does not call him an oppressor. That is an unfair reading. Asgardism is about systematic change. That young man is trapped in the same cycle of violence that all men find themselves since the dawn of time, that he must fight, that he must be a patriarch to have that good life. as Galism would lay the foundation that allows him to be free from these burdens. He would be free to find that job, that good life, with the same prospects as everyone else. That foundation is laid by raising women to the forefront, by allowing them to flatten our hierarchies and bring about a new world.
Let's see here.
I'm sure there's a female perspective here somewhere as well, but I've only really read about that in Mom's books. Okay. Like...
No, I just want the best for women.
Which would be?
just a truly good patriarchy.
Yeah, do it. Let's do a matriarchal feminist paradise.
This is true. You need to come to that realization. The one every boy reaches towards the late stages of their capitalistic, puberistic, and socialistic awakenings that...
No, not at all. It is only your placement you must understand. Figure out where you planted these 2 feet of yours, and accept where your bones will begin their incessantly slowish grind into the pavement.
Learn more.
Steel yourself.
Seek love.
Be more.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing a roll. This, oh Jesus, this is gonna be what closes it out for the stream. I'm gonna roll, suddenly understand gender. Okay. If it were only that easy, right? Okay. Oh my god, no, fuck.
No! No! This is far more complicated than you could have ever imagined. So many relations, so many intersectional divergences. How a man who feels feminine connects in the hierarchy with a woman who feels womanly but acts manly in order to fit amongst patriarchal standards, only to be controlled by a manly woman who seeks feminine ideals in order to break those same standards. It is simply too much for you to make sense of, to break down, to sample even, an inch of truth from the whole.
Now it said this whole egalitarian dream thing was going to be easy.
That is true. But this is far too much for you, right now at least. Maybe it is only your side of the aisle which you have any hope of understanding this day. To know man in order to know woman. Then, yes, everyone lay upon your spectrum, each judged for their perceived and internalized values. You are approximately 0.52 decibels across the line into masculinity. That is in a less abstract definition, a little over halfway to being a full man.
Sorry, what?
Slightly over halfway, yes.
Can I disagree on this, sir?
Opinions are fleeting, facts are firm. It is not ideal.
Does that mean I'm,
yes, a woman? Of course not.
Do not react like some sensitive wimp. The feminine is a beautiful ideal by itself. Fearing it, fearing your position on the spectrum is weakness by itself. This guy's a piece of shit. The average man, if you think back to your ability to sniff about manhood, usually placed around 0.50 decibels of masculinity. That makes you 0.02 more man than the average man. It's not halfway, then?
Halfway to being the most manly man, yes. You are approximately, averagely, decently middle ground manly.
a normally sized manhood inside of a perfectly median-shaped man.
So I'm boring.
You are exemplary in your defaultness.
Now, you will choose.
What?
You know the truth, so choose a side.
Tell me more about Lady Fair.
The halflings built a religion out of feminine love. You could do something similar.
Extra proficiency in roles when speaking with female feminine characters. Alright.
Tell me more about future patriarch.
A brotherhood, a patriarchy. A good and just world, it is within your grasp. Now.
Which should I choose? Like, which one would be the most useful? In all honesty, you must think of this as a representation of your future struggles. In other words, the person who blew up the tea shop, the one you must discover. Will it be a man or a woman?
It could be either.
A man, a sorcerer, who would surely be able to sling such esoteric force, but a man is more likely to enact it.
What does feminine and masculine mean in this context? It means where the target land on Joel's gender spectrum. There will always be one side of this esoterically decided middle point. If you disagree with that judgment, take it up with Joel.
This is the probable outcome, yes. But do not always assume the gender placement of a target. The world is often more complicated than you initially imagine.
I'm ready to make a decision. Do so, stand tall.
Do not be afraid.
Pick Lady Fair, obviously. It is done.
The feminine has entered into your body, your soul, your blood. Be kind to all.
Be slightly less confused about gender.
That's amazing. Okay. Alright. And that's a good place to stop it for the evening, or afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back on, let's see, it's Sunday. I'll be back on Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for the Friday Free Play. I shall see you then. Thank you for joining. Bye.